Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pixies Channel Live. How are we all today? I'm just going to pop a link in the chat box, and then if anybody wants to come in, they can come in and join us. So I shall just put that on there and click enter, and there you go. I shall just see if the right, yeah, everything's on. So okie dokie, we are on. We've got two people watching. David, how you going on, my man? Are you coming in, pal? Everything's ready and waiting for people to enter. We have 4 people. Does everybody like the hat? Pixies Channel hat. All in my online store. And Mrs. P's entered the house.
Hello.
Golden Gaming Serbia. I've said that all in one go. Well, hey, how you doing? Nice, bro. Nice stream, bro. I liked it. He's liked it. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. How's Mrs. P from her baking today?
Good.
I've videoed Mrs. P making a lemon drizzle cake, which I shall upload and, well, edit and upload tomorrow. Same with my rubbish football vlog, because I was watching it more than I was filming it, so very bad YouTuber. Don't know, pal, I'm having tea and I don't want to be chewing in front of you all. That's all right, we have pizza in front of everybody, mate. And Golden Gaming Serbia said is fine. That's all right then. We're all in a good mood because the Blades won yesterday. Yay! Oh, I got over fagging off Saturday night. I nearly said Friday night.
Show everybody your haircut, Mr. P.
Hey?
Show everybody your haircut, Mr. P.
Oh, we know where.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that? All gone. Mrs. P went wild with streamers. I like it. I like it this low though. I don't like a lot of hair on top of my bonds. Gets in my eyes then. I don't know how these blokes can walk about with ponytails in the hair. Sorry if anybody's got ponytails in the hair, it's a man, but that's just me.
Step 1 survival. It's a beautiful Saturday. How are you?
Oh, hello, Step 1 Survival. How are you? Yes, I'm saying how are you as well. Welcome to my channel. And that David Brooks is going to be class as David Armitage.
Crimbo.
That David Brooks is class already, mate.
Crimbo's here.
Crimbo is here, look. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Pixies.
You've got up.
There's a link at the top of the page if you fancy coming in. You want love?
Up to 8 already.
I know, no, we're dropped down to 7 now. Criven says, I'm not going in, I'm going. Bye, push. Hey, Golden Gamer's got 200 subs. Awesome.
And I'm up to 44.
Yeah, after what? 2 weeks?
Week.
Pixies Channel hat. 9 viewers now. Welcome, one and all. Everybody's coming in to say hello.
Well, to say this time a couple of days ago, I were only on 35.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
That's 9 in 2
Always miss your live chats, Step 1 Survival says. Oh, it says, Crimson says, I'm feeling a bit out of the weather today, but I'll def come and watch. Nice one. Cheers, bro. Awesome. Oh, your kaleidoscope thingy, Bobby, was rather good as well. I did watch it earlier. I can't remember if I left a comment. I think I did. But it was very, very good. Have you seen that one yet, love?
No, I haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet.
Right, I'll have to go and have a look at it later on Crimson's latest video. Awesome. Cool. He's a bit of the old editing master, that boy. I do like his videos because we all editing he does. Whereas Keith is gone onto his channel, do you think, that lady's channel?
No idea.
I ain't got a clue. Gail said she was covered in Crimson, so she's got a blue hammer now. She's already banned Keith twice.
on my live streaming.
Yeah, randomly inspired me to do it. Your channel is awesome too. Cheers, matey. Yeah, it's quiet today. It has been quiet today, Crimson. Very quiet. Well, it is Saturday, isn't it? So everybody might be going out on the old razzle dazzle. Drink, in other words. Don't know if you know what razzle dazzle means in the US, but over here it means having too much beer.
What does razzle dazzle mean in America?
I don't know. I don't know if they have that saying. Oh, it's red hot in here. I've got window wide open. Chucking it down. It's not good. Not good at all. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know whether you come in earlier, Crimson, when I said, but this is P, a video doing a vlog today, making lemon drizzle cake. And I'll edit it tomorrow. I was supposed to upload a video today from the football/soccer match that I went to yesterday. But it's going to be a bit rubbish because I was watching more of the match than I was videoing it. It needs fancy. Oh, there you go. Razzle dazzle needs fancy.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Barry Boy. Thanks for coming in, my man. Yeah, the vlog that I was doing, should have been doing today, it's not very good, so I've got to sort of like edit it a bit, that it's a bit longer than 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Because that's about as much action at football that I got. So I'm going to have to concentrate on getting my camera out while the match is on. Oh, we don't have that in Canada, but it's like if you want to describe something that has a lot of detail. So that's your department, sweetheart, with the old...
well, it's basically a sponge cake, and you use fresh lemons, and you make it up with caster sugar to make like an icing. But you have to, as soon as the sponge cake comes out of the oven, you have to prod it with a skewer and pour the lemon drizzle over it, and it all soaks into the cake. So you've got like a lemon flavoured cake.
Oh, there you go. I'm looking forward to eating it. It'll be got in about 2 bites.
Well, that great big thing that I've made.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
About
Step
that.
One Survival says, yeah, I spent a lot of time in different parts of Australia. I'm a lot of the words closed. Oh, sorry. I'm a lot of the words are closed. Also spent a lot of time in France. Ooh. Can you get a chocolate drizzle? Says Crimson.
I suppose it could do, really.
It sounds delicious.
It's basically a lot of people use bottled lemon juice, but I actually like to use fresh lemons because
yeah, that bottled one. You got to make it from scratch, aren't you? You can't do can't half-ass it, can you? You got to make it from.
Well, that's. I mean, it's all right. This bottled lemon juice, but it doesn't taste like proper lemon juice, does it?
Well, that's it. What's that? Step One Survival. Rubbish meaning trash wanker, basically a hippie. Oh, there you go.
I suppose in different countries, it's got different meanings.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you do London slang, proper London slang, even I can't understand.
Like apples and pears is stairs.
Like bees and honey. Money. When they're talking like that, it's like, what the hell have they just said? I got make it from scratch. I hate store-bought icing for cake. Yeah, it's not good.
I always make my cakes and everything from scratch. I have a baking frenzy at Christmas.
Oh, she does. She goes, oh, hi, James. Sorry, mate. I didn't see you come in there. Yeah. Mrs. P, when she does a baking, she bakes for an army at Christmas. I'm not kidding you. His fridge is filled up with sandwich boxes, little Tupperware containers full of stuff.
I made gingerbread men, lemon drizzle, little jam tarts with sponge on top of them. And I don't actually make a Christmas cake because none of us like Christmas cake.
No.
So it's and I don't make Christmas pudding either because none of us eat Christmas pudding either.
Well, I eat Christmas pudding, but you're not fond of it.
Well,
So you just buying it for just one.
That's it.
So we might as well not bother and have something else in it.
The same as Mr. Pixie says, I do go to town when it's Christmas.
Oh yeah, definitely. All this weight we've lost is going to come piling back on it.
And everybody keeps saying that they're inviting themselves round here for Christmas.
Keith's on about coming. DJ Ian's on about coming. I love anything with mint and chocolate. Join the club, mate. Join the club.
I'll have to have a look for recipes then.
What, mint and chocolate?
Hey, I suppose you could do like a version of the lemon drizzle, but instead of like putting the rind of the lemon into the cake, you put chocolate chips or something like that.
Yeah.
A similar recipe to that, but instead of you put chocolate chips in the sponge.
Yeah. I'll eat that and all. You got to, ain't you? You got to. I've got 9 viewers in the house. Welcome, one and all. This is Pixies Channel. We'll just be talking about cakes and what Mrs. P cooks at Christmas or bakes at Christmas. Oh, if you ever come to our house, I'll make sure that she does you a meat and potato pie.
We're on about that earlier on, weren't we?
Oh, a meat and potato pies, guys. I'm not kidding you. Gorgeous. Better than out that you get into these restaurants and shops, I'm telling you.
Well, David, we're on about the ones that you have at March, and I says, oh, mine's a lot better because I use like proper stewing meat, done it slow cooked.
Oh, proper stuff, not this crap that you get at March. If you're good at football or slash soccer, you get these pies like oval shaped. They're like that, and about that big, but there's about like 2 pieces of meat in it, and the rest of it's bloody gravy. Might as well not bloody bother.
Crimson says, I heard you guys have fish and chips.
Oh yeah, fish and chips. Love fish and chips. I like to have fish and chips every now and again, but when we do go to a chip shop, which ain't very often, Mrs. P has fish and chips every time.
I only have a mini fish though.
Yeah,
I couldn't eat a large one.
If you go to the seaside down in England, you'll get fish about that big and about what, that wide, at least, about that thick. They'll be full of fish.
Barra Boy says he likes cakes and pies.
I don't know with cakes and pies. Awesome.
And I do a mean spag bol as well, spaghetti bolognese, if you're wondering.
Yeah, I can do a nice spag bol as well, can't I, Mr. P?
Yes.
Oh dear.
And always cook Sunday lunch.
Oh yeah, that's my job. Sunday lunch, everybody's out at the kitchen bar and me. That's my domain. Pixie's domain. Oh, by the way, this time next week, or hopefully this time next week, there'll be a Pixies cup on display, as well as a Pixies hat and a Pixies Channel t-shirt.
Crimson says we have really good what's a poutine shop? With many
poutine shop with many different types, meat, veggies, hot stuff, or even a dessert pie. Ooh.
Pie.
I like curry too.
Yeah, Keith.
I like curry as long as it's not hot. This is not very good. So what are you going to say, look?
Only curry I like is korma. I don't like anything hot.
Crimson says, Pixie Cup for the win. Yay. Darwin Jordan should do a gazunder pie. those of you who's wondering what gazunder is, it's something that was said on the Gillette's live stream. It's like in-house joke, isn't it, love?
Yeah, Crimson says it's fries with gravy and curds at our Ooh.
With what?
Fries with gravy. I'm just got it up on the internet. Look, and it is chips like in a gravy.
Ooh. Or as Americans in Canada call them, fries.
Well, Crimson did say fries.
Yeah.
It's
like
the makings of a great poutine require crisp fries, a beef gravy, a super fresh squeaky cheese, curd.
Ooh.
So basically in the UK, it's chips and gravy with cheese on it.
Oh, not wrong with that. It's a Canadian thing. I'm from Toronto. Ooh, one of my favourite wrestlers was from there. What's his name? Bret Hart. Bret Hart was from there, I think. Toronto, Canada. As you can guess, I'm a massive WWE fan. Just like my lad.
Yeah, what's his name? In which flashy coat?
Ric Flair?
No.
Macho Man?
No.
No.
Him that's in WWE now, it's short blonde hair.
Short blonde hair who's in WWE now. He's got a flashy coat.
It lights flash on his coat.
Oh, Chris Jericho.
Ah, that's the one.
I wonder if he's going to be in when we go see him in November.
Don't know.
We're going to see. We're going to Minehead in Butlins. Butlins at Minehead. Butlins is like a holiday camp here in the UK, and Minehead is down south somewhere. And it's about 5-6 hours drive from Sheffield, where we are. And it's going to be the WWE are going there. They're not doing a live event. They go there every year. It'd just be like an in-house show with no TV cameras. So it should be quite good. You all love?
Vinny G.
Vinny G is in the house. If anybody's not subbed to anybody, you fancy subbing to some people in the chat, please do so. That'd be most welcome. Build everybody's channel up.
Hey,
nice hearty legs here, hello. Are you coming in, Martin? I'll stick a link in the chat for you if you want to come in. Sorry, I haven't seen your live stream today because if you were on, because I had that many notifications, I didn't know it was on. I've been rather busy today, so I do apologise. There you go, the link's there if you want to come in, and anybody else for that matter. And here comes Random Life. Hello, everybody's coming in today. Like I just said to Martin, Gail, the link's there if you want to come in, and in comes Martin.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
You're doing good. Been busy day. Busy.
Oh God, yeah, not many. Went this morning at 7:30 to 1 o'clock. I felt like crap, so I slept on the sofa for about 2 hours or something like that. And then Mrs. P baked a lemon drizzle cake, and I helped her film that. So I was filming that while she was doing it. And then, then it was time for Mrs. P's live stream.
Yeah, I caught the last 5 minutes of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I just got home and I was like, oh, I'm really tired. I was going to message, but then it's like everyone ended, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just
come in.
I was going to go on at 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But then we've had that much on today. What with me making me lemon drizzle and everything, time we're getting on, we hadn't had any tea, so I changed it to 7 o'clock, and I did about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
After last night's debacle.
You got there in end, though, didn't you?
Yeah, first time tonight and all.
Yeah, I set it up for her to come on at what time? At 7 you come on. Yeah, set it up for her. She just press that. And she went, hey, I'm on. Woohoo!
I can't even speak. Do you find it easy now to start the streams?
Yeah, same as I say, I just clicked on this, clicked on that, and away I went. Job done.
Voila.
Yeah.
Barrow Boywood says, hi, Jeffy's World.
Hello. Who said that? Oh, Barrow Boywood. How
Jeffy's World has started his gaming live streaming this week. He started it, when was it, Monday?
Yep, Monday. And then
what's the game it's called? Kingdom Hearts or something?
Yep, Kingdom Hearts. Just trying to complete all the games. Well, I've already completed them, but they're like the PS4 version.
What's Barry up to tonight?
What's today?
Saturday.
I don't know actually.
It was Vince.
We got Vince. Hello, Vince.
Good morning from Australia.
Oh, it's morning.
From the future.
Is that a Sunday morning then?
From the future. Sunday morning, 6:27.
It's nearly 9:30 in the UK. Yeah.
Tell us your lottery numbers. We'll go halves.
Sorry, what was that?
Tell us your lottery numbers. We'll go halves.
I was about to mention them. Actually, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. So.
Now, whereabouts in Australia are you from?
Melbourne.
Wow.
Melbourne.
Ooh. Is that your capital?
Struth. I don't know the capital of Australia.
You live there.
Canberra, I think.
Yeah.
That's where all our slave masters hang out, I suppose, where the government is. Yeah.
Oh, that's my company, innit? All Slave Masters.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the slaves. Who's
Yeah,
that?
Canberra.
Disaster Garage says, how are you guys and girls? We're fine. Taking that off the squat.
We are now. We can sit and put our feet up.
Oh, yeah. Busy day.
It's been a very busy day today.
And what's the weather like in England?
Well, it's been a mixed bag today. We started off when Mr. P got for work about 6 o'clock. It was absolutely bouncing it down with rain. And then as the day progressed, it was sunny. And then
You were red hot, weren't it?
And then about tea time, it started bouncing it down with rain again.
Well, I say it was red hot, but those guys in Australia, if they came over here, they'd be wearing a jumper and a woolly hat.
Yeah. It were only in the 20s, though.
Okay, yeah, no, I've measured 45 degrees in the shade here once.
My God!
Oh my good God!
I'd be a blob on the floor if I were there.
No, you get used to it. You head to the beach. Well, something's going to kill you here anyway. If it's not the heat, it'll be the snakes or the squid or whatever's here that kill you. So you may as well just. Yeah, you may as well just take your chances and go to the beach. If you get eaten, you get eaten.
Super
We
D
take sunscreen, you take a grenade.
Super D says, "Where's that lemon drizzle cake, Jeanette? I'm frothing at the mouth here."
Ah, you'll have to wait for tomorrow. That's if I haven't come down during the night and eaten it all.
Well, put it this way, Super D, it's that big. I've got a big container about this big and about that deep, and I've had to squish the lid down on it.
Hey, 828 Stevie, how you going up, pal?
Have you heard of lemon drizzle cake, Vince?
No, I've heard of lemon butter cakes, but not lemon drizzle.
It's basically a sponge cake, and I do it in like a big loaf tin, and then you mix like fresh lemons with icing sugar, and you drizzle it over the cake, and it soaks into the sponge.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So it will be.
It's like in a big loaf tin. So there's
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
enough to feed the 5,000 proverbially.
Yeah, no, that sounds. I like anything with lemons in it. Really, I like anything at all with lemons in it.
Well, we've just been on about it actually, and a lot of people, you know, I can get like bottled lemon juice. I like to use fresh lemons.
Yeah, there is a difference.
It gives it just that bit more zing and a bit more taste.
Yeah. Oh, the easiest. I'm going to make everyone hungry here now. The easiest snack to make, I believe, is avocados mashed up with some lemon juice in there. It's a beautiful dip.
Avocados?
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't like avocado?
No.
What?
Oh,
I'm a fussy eater. I'm a very fussy eater.
Super D wants you to save him a crumb.
yeah, no, I look, I understand the avocado thing because I was in this, you know, the fruit was there that sort of looked tropical the first time I've ever experienced it. I'm thinking mango, it'll taste something like that. The first time I tasted avocado was quite gross. But then I just, time went on and people were making it as a dip for your crackers and stuff like that. And yeah, I just got to liking it, and I made it a couple of times. It was just the easiest thing to make, really.
I suppose it's like an acquired taste, really.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
I like avocado because it's done with sushi.
Ooh.
Yeah, sushi's nice.
Not fond.
Yeah.
Not fond of that neither. I like my fish cooked.
Do you like roll mops? You know what roll mops are? You should know what roll mops are over there.
Roll? No.
It's
Unless we call them a different thing.
Okay, it's a herring that's pickled in vinegar in a jar.
Ooh.
And no, it's quite nice actually. It's quite nice, really nice.
Oh, Mrs. Ray Ray's in the house.
Ooh.
Hello, Mrs. Ray Ray.
Amy Baldwin. No, I'm not subscribed to you, so I shall do. Let's have a look.
If you were wondering, Vince, I'm Mr. Pixies' wife.
Pleased to meet you.
And
Oh, I'm subscribed to it. I don't know if I'm subscribed to you or not. Vince, sorry, I'm calling you Cat.
Meow.
But if you want to just type something in the chat, then I can have a look at your channel for you and see if I am subscribed to you. I don't know if I am or not.
Yeah, it's a funny channel. My probably best video at the moment in regards to views and all that is in regards to hemorrhoids.
Oh, lovely. Hemorrhoids.
Yeah, work that one out. I made it a couple of weeks ago, I think, and yeah, it's just going boom. 3,000 views on it, and I'm thinking, shit, must have a lot of people in the world with sore bums.
I'll have to have a look. Nice. Like I said, type some teacher if you will, mate, and then I'll have a look.
Yeah, look, help yourself. It's there to view.
Some Fantasy said, "Is that Vinny G? I didn't recognise the name."
Oh, that's my
Vinny G. I got it for Vince. Sorry.
It's all right. It doesn't take a lot to confuse him. Plus, he's been to work today as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a tired little pixie. There he is, Vinny G. I knew you'd come in, but I think Vince, it didn't click.
Yeah. That dickhead down under.
Let's have a look.
Slow thought process.
The mouse hasn't started winding up yet.
Okay.
I am subscribed to you. I'll put the little bell on because I don't think that's done. So when a video comes on about hemorrhoids, I'll be able to have a look.
Yeah. I'll return the favour. I was just, you know, I mean, making that video there on its own, obviously I've had hemorrhoids if I'm making a video about hemorrhoids, because at the end of the day, the channel is about me, what I do and what I like and all that sort of stuff, you know. But, yeah, when I saw I'm thinking, oh, which video's doing the best at the moment? Hemorrhoids. There you go.
You've actually got quite some decent views though, mate. You've got like 9 years ago that's got over 20,000 views.
If it's any consolation, Vince, I have them too. So
yeah,
just a little snippet. I've just subscribed to you as well.
Thank you. No worries. I'm returning the favour once I get past this, because you know how you got the Google Hangouts screen, if you want to see the chat, you got to go back to the YouTube view page type thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of paid. Oh, we've got 15 watching now. I think no, it's 16 as record, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just need one more.
Just a quick heads up, Vince. I've only been doing YouTube 2 weeks, and I'm up to 44 already.
That's good.
So I'm getting there.
That's good. You sort of think about that, you know. You know, I've got a nephew who's just discovered YouTube, and he wants to be on YouTube, and you know, I tried to explain to him that it's actually not easy work. It's another like branch to your life. Do you know what I mean? And it's another it's another whole way of, you've got to train yourself to be this person that's going to be thick-skinned, because you've got to get used to the dislikes, you've got to get used to the negativity.
17 views, yay! Oh, sorry, carry on.
and once you get past all that, if you can do that, then I believe that's the success to it all.
Well, that's it. I mean, like Mr. Pixie and my son, who is Epic Gaming, they both did vlogs and everything, and I was the only one that didn't do it. And I happened to walk past him one night while they were doing a live stream, and somebody says, "Oh, why don't you come in live stream and start your own YouTube channel?" And so I did. So we all into it now.
Yeah, no, I was actually having my brain's a bit troppo, you know, it's racing in places maybe it shouldn't go, but I'm always thinking. And I was thinking about the internet yesterday, and I was thinking, okay, how long's the internet been around? You know, that's what I was asking myself. And I looked at it, and I'm thinking, well, the internet's been around for a hell of a long time. It's just the technology changed, and this is where I was thinking, you know, I'm starting to go conspiracy theory here, but for example, you had the ham radios during World War II, and everybody could actually operate a radio, and anyone could have one, but there was no interest in communicating with the world as we are today. But now, as time progressed, they made these devices which got people who were semi-interested in communicating to get a whole population on here. And, you know, like now we're communicating with each other, and I just think that this is a medium that brings out goodness in a lot of people. And like for this amount of time you've been on here to get that sort of views or subscribers, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who is? Oh, here he is, Mr. Nigel Brook.
Yeah.
He says, hello, Mrs. Pixie.
I know, I've just put a reply.
All right, and Steve A says, congrats, Jeanette, on 44 subs.
Yeah, thank you. We're only on about CB radios the other night.
Yeah, how funny were they? You know, like used to have one in the car, and it was sort of like the world went through a phase. I remember when CB radios were around. Well, there was obviously, you know, arcade machines, and like it was just a fun medium. And once the youth got the CB radios, then there's some real fun to be had on there.
It makes it feel like a lifetime away, because I mean, I were around CB radios a lot.
Yeah, they were just coming out of my time when I were a kid. We never had one to send.
Brookie's
where were you last night, Mr. P? You know exactly where I was, Nigel. It's trying to wind me up saying that.
What was the score?
Hey?
It was 2-1, Martin.
2-1 to Blaze. Woohoo!
Hey.
And a young lad called David Brooks, no relation to Noob that's in chat box. Sorry, he's my best mate, so I can call him a noob. Young lad called David Brooks, who plays for Sheffield United, has come up through the ranks. He's only 20-year-old. Remember his name because he's going to be a very, very, very good player.
Steve A says 19 for a copy. Breaker. That was one of the
10 code.
Breaker.
Brookie says, am I covering for you on Tuesday?
Well, it depends how many the 80-year-old grannies that I can get in one go, you see, you know what I mean? Oh, Amy says she's just subbed you and I'm getting ready to start doing videos soon. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and Barra Boy Woods has just subbed to me as well.
Oh, that'll be what, nearly 50 now, won't it, love?
Yeah.
Halfway to 100, share a channel like mad.
Go.
Ready, steady, go. I'm already subscribed to Barra Boy.
Oh,
are you running?
It's that Carl. It's Carl.
Barra Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, is that him, is it?
Yeah.
Is it where wore the crazy wig?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's all right. That were another live stream.
Nigel says, can I borrow your City Centre loyalty card? City Centre Sauna loyalty card?
Yeah.
No, it's been overused, mate. I'm sorry. Dodge Ravens in the house.
Hello.
Hey, we're all coming in.
You know what he's trying to insinuate, don't you?
That I'm not going to matches.
No, that you're going to massage parlours and whatever.
I'd never pay for it.
I'd
rather go celebrate than pay for it.
It's trying to get you into trouble, but I'm not bad.
He is. He told me all this last night. Says I'm going to tell you all that you weren't there and that you dropped you off with a redhead. I think you forget though, Nigel. I've got Callum there, and he tells truth. Callum does.
He knows it's more than his life's worth.
Oh God, yeah. I want my dingaling intact. Thank you very much.
Ding-a-ling.
He told me that's how you met.
I'll put the old Hangouts link in there. If anybody wants to jump in, they can do. More than welcome.
I think I am, Steve.
You sub to me. I need 3 more to get to 1,000. Everybody sub to Steve 808.
Yes,
subscribe.
I am sub to you, Steve.
19 then Pixie viewers. Oh yeah, we're 19. Awesome. Saturday nights, that is, isn't it? That's what.
Hey, Amy's just sub to Steve. That's 1 more.
Hey, 2 more. Come on, let's get 2 more. I'm back from my date, Mr. P. Oh, how did it go, Nigel? Do tell. Click on the link and come in the chat and tell us how your date went.
Yes, we want all the lowdown.
We do. We dish all the dirt. Is that some right psychos? I'll let Nigel tell you that. That's for another day.
Kiss and tell.
Kiss and tell. Yeah. He's had quite good looking women, but they're a bit like up here, a bit crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that these days, both sexes.
It's no good if you've got the looks, but you ain't got the brain to go with it.
Exactly. Yeah. We're up to 19 and it's shot down to 16 now.
60 quid.
60 quid. I think that needs to come into the chat.
Yeah, you pay Pixie 60 quid.
Yeah, that's it. I should start charging. So 60 quid a minute. Marty says bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
I think I'm going as well then.
No,
IOUs.
No, it says 60 quid for 2 hours.
60 quid for 2 hours. Not a chance. Yeah, for me.
That's true.
Oh, the date cost each 60 quid. Ooh, my word. Sounds like you had a good one then. Have you seen her again?
Hey up, Nigel. I'm a cheap date.
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Vince, I had weight loss surgery just over a year and a half ago, so I can only eat small portions.
Oh, he had a
It's still
crap
fish and
Indian.
chips.
Nigel said he had a crap Indian and it cost him 60 quid.
Oh, I've had things like that. I've been to
The
restaurants.
food might be... Oh, sorry, Martin, what were you saying?
I was just saying I've been to restaurants before where it says like 4-star, 5-star, and everything expensive, but the food was crap.
Crap. Yeah.
Yeah, but you usually find that them that cost the most have got the worst food.
Yeah.
Well, Nigel was telling me that...
how did the date go?
Yeah, it might be crap food, but how was woman? She wants to see me, but not my type. Oh, do you know? It's ever so picky.
Bit shallow.
So she went out for the meal.
She wrote.
Yeah. All right, Steve.
Well,
see you in a bit, mate.
Gail put, I hope you let her down gently, Nigel.
Dropped her. Whoops, sorry.
See you later. Yeah, Nigel was telling me on the way back from the match last night that he says there's been in some rank rough areas in UK, but they've had some really nice restaurants and the food's been absolutely top quality.
McDonald's don't count.
But when you go to these expensive bloody restaurants and the food's crap, it makes you wonder what the bloody chef's been cooking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Abandoned and Beyond. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. P.
Oh, hello. How are you? Let's have a look. Abandoned and Beyond. Am I subscribed?
So
I don't know.
what did we establish that a date's going to cost you £60? Is that what we established?
Yes.
Each. So basically,
What?
£20.
No.
Oh, well, he's done okay. He's done okay because I could tell you what a friend of mine's doing right now. He's travelled from Melbourne. He's now in the Ukraine, and he's going on one of these meet the love of your life tours type thing, where you go on a date with a woman. You then pay an interpreter $20 an hour. Whether she's needed or not, and she's there for the duration of the date. Then you've got to buy them a gift. Then they take you to a restaurant and you get ripped off. So probably for a date with a woman and her interpreter, probably around 600 Australian dollars.
Wow.
Oh my God. Screw that.
Crazy, isn't it?
Nigel Brooks says if I had picked her up, I'd break my back. So what you're saying, she were a big woman? And Nigel Brooks says his friend lives in Melbourne.
Okay. In regards to your surgery, how's it all going?
I've lost nearly 9 stone up to yet.
Shit, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But
You're going to be...
I was quite heavy before I had the surgery. I've got quite a way to go yet.
Yeah, but you're going to be restricted now for life on the portions you eat.
Yeah, I didn't have the full bypass. I had what they call a sleeve gastrectomy.
Okay. Yep. Have you seen?
That is where they take 3/4 of your stomach away.
Yeah. Have you seen the YouTube user by the name of Boogie? Yeah, 2988. He's about to undergo the surgery, and he was talking about it the other day, and how he can't drink because he's sort of like got an addiction to soda drinks, like lemonade and stuff like that.
Mountain Dew, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, when you have the full bypass, you can't have anything sugary because it's what you get. It's called dumping syndrome.
Yeah.
And basically, because a bypass basically bypasses your stomach altogether,
yep.
The body cannot co-work with large amounts of sugary things.
Okay, yeah. So basically what you're saying is the body extracts it as quick as it takes it in.
Yeah, it's basically, it causes diarrhea, it causes sickness. I mean, before I had my surgery, I had to go to a lot of these meetings and like you get guest speakers in telling you about their experiences with surgery. And this lady says she'd done well, she'd lost about 7 stone, but she had the full bypass. And she says, I thought she were out for a meal with friends, and she thought, well, I'll just have a little small like portion of cheesecake. And she says she had to go to the toilet and she virtually passed out. And she was on the toilet floor, like passed out. It's like a bit like a seizure.
Is it like a dumping syndrome that you say?
Yeah, it is actually called the dumping syndrome. And it's basically because your body cannot cope with the sugar.
Well, they say like a smaller version.
They say sugar and salt are bad for you in general altogether. So,
well, we don't have no salt in our food at all. Like none of his, no salt in his veg, no salt in his potatoes, and all like that.
And none of them have sugar.
You have the sweeteners in your coffee, don't you?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Sweeteners. Sweeteners is another one of those things you've got to get accustomed to once you get off sugar. I mean, look, you know, I've always said that I can't understand addiction, but then I look at our chain, our food chain, and I look at what's addictive, and like you got caffeine, you got sugar, you got, you know, and I mean, a can of Coke. Well, what's that hold? Three. I
will be brutally honest with you. I liked sugar in my coffee, and I thought to myself, once I went on sweeteners, I thought, oh, it's not going to taste the same or anything. But I haven't had sugar for about 4 or 5 years now. Yeah.
Do you feel better? Do you feel better for it?
Oh, a lot better. The only downside of the surgery is, I have to take a multivitamin every day, and every 12 weeks I have to go to my doctors to have what they call a
B12, isn't it?
A B12 injection.
Yep.
What's a B12 injection? Is that like a vitamin?
Yeah, but you know, you put all the stuff that you're going to go through aside, and I do think you'll have a better quality of life in a sense.
Oh yeah, I mean, Mr. Peel vouched for it. I mean, my quality of life has greatly improved since I've lost all the weight.
Yeah.
So let's put it this way: she couldn't walk very far, but now she's all over the place. It's me that's telling her to slow down so I can catch up with you.
It's basically I've got arthritis in both my knees as well.
Yeah, you'll find as you lose the weight, your knees won't be what would you say, so susceptible to strain.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, it were basically the doctors told me that if I didn't do something about my weight, because of my arthritis, that in a couple of years I'd be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and you certainly want to try it. Look, I mean, I know there's people out there that can't help it and they have to be in that situation, and you feel sort of sorry for them. But yeah, if you can avoid that situation for yourself while it's time to avoid it, you may as well do it. And we're all the big truth is we're all ending up 6 foot under in the ground pushing daisies back up. But how quick do you want to get there? That's the thing.
Well, the thing is as well, I've got an underactive thyroid as well, hence the big size.
Yeah.
So it's like a double whammy. I have to take thyroxine for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
To keep that in check.
Sorry, Martin asked a while back, what's the B12 injection?
I think because I've had the weight loss surgery and everything, I think basically it's you're not getting the vitamins that you should through a normal diet because you're eating less.
All right, so it's just a way to like boost your vitamin a bit quicker.
Yeah, and plus it boosts your immune system as well because you imagine that like you'd sit down for a big tea plate full of food, like a big plate full. I can only eat like one of these that you have your bread and butter and things on like that. I could only eat that size portion.
Right, I get it.
So my body isn't getting the vitamins from my food that I should be getting.
Yeah.
I mean, every morning I'll just show you. I mean, and you're gonna laugh at the size of them. I have to take one of them every morning after I've had my breakfast.
Sorry, Vinny.
Yeah.
Can you type something in the chat box, please? Because David Armitage wants to subscribe to you.
Okay. I was just thinking, all things aside, what would you say? The light-sided humour of it all, and I say things with no offence to anyone, regards of their weight, size, height, creed, colour, and all that shit. But it's funny we're talking about this subject of weight, and I myself am overweight. I recognise that's that. So having said that, I was reading the news yesterday, and even the Japanese people think that the new Godzilla is too fat and needs to go on a diet.
What? What? Does he need to go to Slimming World or something?
Sorry, what was that?
Does he need to go to Slimming World? Slimming World's like a diet place that you can go to help you lose weight.
Yeah, I don't know, but I could imagine Godzilla'd be pretty big, and it's ferocious.
Well, put it this way: I wouldn't like to think I were going out shoe shopping with Godzilla.
No. No, it's yeah. I was just thinking that, and like as a world, I don't know what it is. All right, you had Darwin and all that sort of defending evolution, and what actually is evolution, because all I've seen of evolution is when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there was seemed to be skinnier people around. Even the Asians were skinny, but we've got Asians here in Australia that are bigger than Australians. So it's either we're well fed. Because the funeral parlour down here, we were doing a bit of work at the cemetery, at the crematorium, and they're actually putting in place ovens that can take bigger coffins for the cremations, because the population here has generally gotten bigger.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's the way the world rolls now. I mean, not everybody's thin, and you've got, I mean, it's like I was saying to a friend of mine when I went, because I've started going to the gym as well.
Yeah.
Both my grandparents, well, my grandmas, were both big women, so I've not got a cat and else chance.
No, it's gonna happen to you. That's it.
When it's genetic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a world if everybody were the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you're talking about genetics, I was just thinking to myself, how many stupid people are in my family? Maybe it might be inherited to me.
We've got a lot of stupid people in my family. Don't worry about
that. I've got vlog from the bog in mine.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to Martin, you and Barry, you sound alike, but you don't look alike.
No, that's just due to the fact that we both have different dads.
Oh, right.
So, we've got obviously the same mum, but, because we've got different dads who are very, very different, that's the reason why a lot of people are surprised when they say, "Oh, you're actually brothers," and but yeah.
Well,
you're the sensible one, and he's the not so sensible one.
Oh yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, the saying is true. You can't choose your family, but you can your friends.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know whether, I mean, you've gone through the same thing, Martin, but since my mum died, I've had a lot of problems with, well, they're not me half brother or sisters, but my mum married again, and I inherited 2 stepbrothers and a stepsister.
Let me think. I don't have any stepbrothers or stepsisters.
I've got a stepbrother and a stepsister.
But yeah, my mum married 4 times in her life. So.
Oh, crikey.
I thought my mum was bad. She married 3 times. But what I'm saying is, me and my sister and my eldest of my stepbrothers, we did everything. Now, the other 2 haven't been very much support at all. They did help us clear the house out. Me and my sister arranged the funeral. We did all the paperwork, the death certificate, you name it. We did everything. Yet, in my mum's will, she shared the money that she's got equally between 5 of us.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me so angry about it. They've done nothing, but we're holding the hand out when it came to sharing the money out.
Yeah. But,
yeah. That's gonna be everywhere in life in those situations, I believe.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. You know, I know families who are worse. They don't even speak to each other. You know.
It's crazy that.
It's just it's bizarre, but you know, unfortunately, like you said, it is one of those things, and it does happen more than it should.
I mean, this is the thing as well, Martin. I mean, we scattered my mum's ashes at Skegness.
That's nice.
And the ones that lived furthest away have gone to scatter her ashes, yet the 2 that lived locally or nearest didn't even bother and made excuses not to go.
Yeah.
We couldn't even do that one last thing.
No,
it's like that. It's like that. DJ Ian's wedding that he DJ'd last night.
Yeah.
He showed us. I don't know whether you've seen it, Vinny. He showed us how many people were on the dance floor that night. It was this couple's wedding. There was 1 person on the dance floor, and what happened was apparently in the morning there was a great big argument between the 2 families. And only 15 people turned up to the wedding. What gets me is it's the ladies, the bride's day. Why didn't they keep the arguments aside?
Yeah.
For that one day, because it's her special day now. She's got that in her head for the rest of her life now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going back to the argument that you know, this is families all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why can't they leave it to one side just for one day and make it a happy day for the bride and groom, and nobody bring it into the special day for that woman, because she's going to be in tears now. She's had a horrible wedding, hasn't she?
It's called selfishness and how else would you put it? There's just pure selfishness, really, and like in your situation, Pixie, where you had with your mother's passing and that, like in my family, I remember years ago, the first time I saw a dead body, I was born in Belgium and then migrated here in the very early years, and what happened was my mum's brother had passed away, so we went to the morgue, and you know, I saw the body for the first time in my life. I was 7 years old, and he had a twin brother, and his twin brother died a week later. He was shot in a bar. I don't know. He was being a smart ass, and someone shot him and killed him. So, being his twin brother, they buried him on top of his brother, as you would. I mean, this is only a week later. His wife, the twin's wife, never got on with the family and hated the family so much that she went to court and had the body exhumed and buried somewhere else.
Oh, wow. That is bad.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And so that's how. So when someone puts their hand out for money, I just expect it.
Well, that's it. Same as I say. I mean, it's a bit of a bone of contention at the moment because basically they've got same share as me, they've got same share as my sister, they've got same share as my stepbrother, but done nothing for it, and they weren't even there for her when she would, you know, because she died of cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. You're always going to get. I mean, I've seen the families here amongst the Italians. I married an Italian lady, and you know, some of the stories you hear from the families, like the mother still, she's come home to pass away, basically. She didn't want to pass away in hospital, and the kids are already going through the jewelry boxes and working out what they're going to have before the person's even gone. And they do.
It's not a very nice thing to go through, and I mean Martin and Barry all agree with me. It's one of the worst times in your lives, and if you can't pull together at that time, then
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's right. It's never going to pull together at all, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's always the ones in these situations I noticed that are family, but have never been close and have never been. You never see them unless it's Christmas, a funeral, or a wedding, and they're the first ones to be there. And once the will gets read out and stuff, it's amazing.
I will say one thing though. I mean, obviously, being married, having children, and everything. Me and my sister sort of like grew apart a little bit, but the last 4 days in the nursing home, it's brought us a lot closer together.
Yeah,
and I mean, like I hadn't seen her for a few. She only lives about 20 minutes down the road, but she and her partner both work full time, and but we always text one another. We do still keep in touch, and she's a bit busy at home, you know, only having the weekend off. So, and she did text me the other day and say, "Oh yeah, we must get together sometime." So if anything good's come out of it, it's brought me and my sister a lot closer together.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like it's good that you're like, you know, more in touch together, but it's unfortunately like what the event happened to make you a little bit closer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do understand that, but I mean, obviously, I understand. Basically, she works 5 days a week. She works for the Department for Work and Pensions, actually. So but up until like a couple of years ago, till she moved to Sheffield, she was going to London, she was going to Birmingham, she was going all over the country.
Right.
So it was just a case we didn't make the connection, so to speak.
The world's gotten busier too. I mean, I don't know what it was like for you guys, but us living in Australia, you've always got relatives coming into the country or relatives going out. And I remember those days when someone would go to the airport, the whole family would be there. You know, it'd be people begging to take you to the airport. If you were to travel to the airport, busy people would just say, "Okay, see ya," and no one would have to take you.
Well, funnily enough, me and my sister growing up, we were always at each other's throats. We never got on, really. Yeah. Not like some siblings, we tolerated each other, but we never really saw eye to eye. But everything's changed now.
Yeah. It's funny that two people talking on the internet can actually interact better than two people who were born under the same roof.
Well, that's it. Right, so we're going to a different
subject. Yeah, different subject now. Where's everybody going, or where have you been on your holidays this year, or vacation?
Is this to everyone, or?
Everyone and anyone.
Well, I haven't been on holiday for about 12 years.
Martin, what are you like? Get on your holiday, even if it's just for a weekend or even a day trip.
You want to come to Devon with us? 2 week on Friday.
I'd love to, but unfortunately, money isn't there.
You know.
Is it?
That's what your brothers are for, to borrow off.
We have a bit of a rumour that was sent around the country here in Australia in regards to England, London, Britain, whatever you want to call it, but you guys as country, that you guys in your lifetimes will never travel any more than 35 k's from your towns. Would that be right?
What, for a holiday?
Well,
No. In life in general.
Oh.
Where we going? From where we live in a city called Sheffield in the UK.
Fourth largest city in England.
Devon is about 6 hours from us.
Okay.
I don't know.
We just down here. We just seem to travel abundant amounts of kilometres with no fear of doing it when we go on a sort of, like, it's nothing for us to drive, say, to New South Wales from Melbourne and back, which is probably half of England, or a good chunk of England you're driving across in a day. But the problem is, I think you guys would have, compared to us, would be traffic, maybe, and smaller roads. We have big distances here to travel to get anywhere.
Well, Sheffield, where we live, is actually like near the centre of the UK, and we're going right down south. So it is quite. Basically, it is off of the length of England away, really.
Yeah, we're in the top half of middle part, and Devon right near the bottom.
So, what's your weather like there now? Is it warmish or?
It's warm. It's warm, but it'll be really hot and sunny for a few days, and then it'll chuck it down for a couple of days, but it'll still be warm. Well, warm to warm.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 20 degrees.
I just noticed you're in a t-shirt and that, so it can't be too bad. I mean, you're tempered to that temperament anyway. So
Pixies Channel t-shirt.
and earlier on, he'd got his baseball cap on as well.
Yeah.
Got to get a plug, haven't you? Your merch.
This
is the only one in the whole country that's got this in the whole world. There you go. If you want one, links in the description of my channel.
Super D says, I've been to China 3 times, Spain and Portugal, and I'm British, so we do travel.
Yeah. I've been to Portugal.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I've been to Portugal. I've been to, where else? Future Ventura. Where do we go? Collected a Fusty. Where was that?
Oh, nice.
I was actually born in Kenya.
You was born in Kenya?
Yeah.
Born in Kenya.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He didn't come back to the UK till 7 years old.
What it was, my dad, you know where we had a Johnson & Johnson's baby lotion?
Yeah.
Well, he was sent over Kenya to train all their guys up over there and how to run their company, like the big warehouses and whatnot.
And to set up the machinery because he's an electrician, or was an electrician.
And it was, we lived in Nairobi, Zambia, a few other places. I can remember little bits about it, but like Jeanette said, I was here about what? Till I was about 7 or 8 years old. I'm 45 now, so memories fade as you get older, aren't they? So
I can imagine you during the opening ceremony of the Olympics. Yeah, been there.
You'd probably you'd probably be dead if you'd stayed there by now. That place is in a civil war all the time, aren't they?
Oh,
they,
yeah,
they have,
they did, yeah. Well, this were in the 70s, you see, so it weren't so bad then.
yeah.
But can you remember, I think it was last year, or it might have been this year, where they were in a supermarket in Kenya, and they went to a couple of gunmen. Two gunmen went in and shooting everybody.
Jeez.
Well, my mum says, "Oh my God, I used to shop there."
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's shocking
amazing.
when they come like that. I used to shop there, and you're like, oh, I was actually there, you know, when it happened. Because,
Yeah.
do you know what happened in Borough Market with the London terrorist attacks?
Yeah.
Well, I had to go through that place, not the Borough Market, but you know, past the entrance where the gate is. I don't know if you're familiar with London.
No, not really.
And then when I went past it, I met with a friend. I was like, this looks familiar. I've seen this somewhere before. And then suddenly I looked around at a big sign saying Borough Market, and I was like, this is like a week after that event. And I was like, shit.
Good job you got out, mate.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what I mean?
I was like, right, I'm going home now. Bye.
Well, funny
I tell you,
you know when there was the terrorist attack in Manchester, Martin?
Yeah.
My nephew's girlfriend was at that concert, and she'd left just before the bomb went off.
Yeah, small world, isn't it? It's such a small world.
And there was also, you know, when that lorry drove through that Brussels market, he was there the week before that as well.
Yes.
My nephew. And so I said to my sister, I says, it amazes me, you know, his girlfriend was at the Ariana Grande concert and she'd left before the bomb went off, and he were in that Brussels market
the
week before that terrorist attack.
I know. It makes you think.
Fortune, luck.
Yeah.
Right, Steve A says, I've been to India 6 times, Kenya 6 times, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Turkey, Romania, Greece, and Denmark.
And yet he
And here's
didn't.
us that goes to Skegness every year. Slight difference.
Not this year, though.
We have.
I tell you, I was watching some YouTube videos the other day, and if I ever go to England, I don't know what people's sentiments are on the Royals there or whatever. There's a march that they do. It's the mile march where they transfer the Queen's crown from.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. It just looks really, really so British. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see that.
I like watching the British military tattoo with all the bagpipes. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin would know more about the trooping of the colour, etc., because he lives down that way.
Well, yeah, I live in Kent. What? I know. Yeah, a little bit, because
well, you live closer to London than what we do.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Says, sorry, mate. David Armitage says, believe it or not, this decade has been the most peaceful in human history. Not in the UK, and definitely not.
Yeah. It's a you know, like I was just thinking to myself the other day that, you know, there's mankind's always talking about space travel, and you know, then they got the argument, did they or didn't they go to the moon? But I'll just leave that one alone. But they haven't gotten back to the moon, and yet these idiots are thinking of trying to travel to Mars. You know, I just don't understand that.
They want to be going to the moon like it's catching a bus ride, not thinking about going to bloody Mars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's an impossibility. That's a destination fail.
Of course it is. I mean, what's it take about 6 years or something to get there?
Yeah, you know,
like that.
I'm sorry. The discussion that me and Mr. P's had about this terrorist thing, going back to the terrorist thing, if the police know about these terrorists, why aren't they being chucked out?
Exactly. 3,000 known terror suspects, because they're all behaving themselves, they leave them alone. What I say is, if the known 3,000 terrorist suspects, ship them up, get them out. That's
it.
Yep. It's like the words in the sentence, you know, it says they're suspects. No, there's nothing more.
Yeah, but if the suspects, still, I'm not a suspect. You're not a suspect. But they are. If they are suspects, there must be some sort of threat.
Or you hear them like, if they got captured with it or whatever, and it says they were on the terrorist list. Like, well, if they were on the terrorist lists, what are they doing out? Yeah, I know what you mean.
That guy that blew himself up in Manchester, he was on the list.
Yeah.
And they didn't even know he was back in the country.
Yeah. I know.
So what Jeffy's...
It's all right making statements and everything after the fact, but why wasn't something done about it sooner?
Yeah.
I guess what Jeffy's trying to say is that no point of having a list if there's nothing, if they're not going to act on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it needs to change, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've got nothing against Muslims. Most Muslims I know, okie dokie.
Yeah.
It's the Muslims that basically want to twist the religion round for their sakes, where they can go out and do these killings and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the normal Muslims, they don't want nothing to do with these terrorists. I say they're not Muslims. They're just idiots. You know what I mean?
It's a well-known fact that a lot of the Muslims are disgusted by the terrorist actions.
Yeah. I was just going to say that after like an event does happen, and you see people blaming a certain religion, you see that the religion that they're blaming are actually helping all the suspects.
Yeah, my view on that is that the Muslims also have to understand that us as people, we're not picking on them for being Muslim, but we do have our rights to voice our opinions. And when we say terrorists, the Muslim people themselves have to dislink that word from themselves, because we have terrorists in every religion when you think about it over history. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't hate Muslim people myself, and I distance terrorists from the Muslim people, because a terrorist and a Muslim are two different things to me.
Yeah, because
I don't hate the Muslims myself. It's just the people that call themselves terrorists who think that they are Muslims when in reality they're not.
Or do it under a Muslim guise.
Yeah, I was like going back to the London Bridge accident. You know, when the lorry.
Yeah.
They found out the person who drove that lorry was actually born and raised in Dartford, 2 stops from where I am.
Yes.
And it's just because of his, religious beliefs. That's why he did it.
Look, I don't know what people's sentiments are on the whole subject either, but to me it all comes down to some form of what would you say, abuse. Now, if you are abused as a child, the outcome for the future from that point that you declare that you have been abused as a child, in any court of law, in anywhere in the world, they're going to take that and be lenient on you. So when the reason I think that terrorists associate themselves with the Muslims is simply for the fact that when a terrorist commits an act like they did in Manchester, and then they proclaim it to be in the faith of Muslims, that is I believe they do that because if they go to court and they get caught for something like that, because of that declaration of a minority of people, they will get a lenient sentence anyway than what we would if we committed an act of terrorism. And that's why I can't stand the way that the terrorists actually align themselves with Muslims when they're not Muslims.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, they like to think that they are Muslims. This is a thing, isn't it?
I mean, it's like everything else. I mean, I could go out onto the street and stab somebody tomorrow and then tell everybody I'm insane.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
But this is a proven fact that.
But insanity is not a religion. That's the difference.
Yeah. But people who are insane do not actually know that they are insane.
That's right.
It's
very true.
All right, going back to they're abused as a child and this, that, and other, but it's just another excuse.
Yeah.
And what does pee me off as well is it's like if how can I put it without sounding like a dickhead? It's like if we have an argument with a Muslim, and you're always gonna get it with any race, but like if it's like an argument with a Muslim, I hit a Muslim for argument's sake. I hit a Muslim, then I get sent down 20 years for hitting this Muslim like GBH. If they did the same to me, and I said, look, he just hit me, they just say, oh well, you should have said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always that.
Basically, what you're saying is a coloured person, whether it be Asian or
whatever race, yeah.
You saying that they could play the race card.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
Racist.
They do. They do.
And
they do play the race card.
And it gets me mad. Like in Britain, we can't hang our flags out at window because we might offend people.
Yeah.
Cultures.
Yeah, that's the problem with the world. Too many snowflakes.
But when where I work, they've always got the flags hanging out at window when cricket's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how can they do it and we can't? And
yeah, come into something when you're in your own country and you can't hang your country
flag out because it's going to
out the window.
Whoever made that law is just an arse.
Well, it's not such a law. It's written in our tenancy agreement.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, you know.
Oh, sorry, go on, Vince.
The thing is, you know, you look at the world today, and I think the world is really starting to be tired of being politically correct in the sense that, oh, you know, they're from another country, you got to show respect and can't hang your flag. You know, realistically, yeah, where does it stop?
Yeah, it's like, let's say we were to emigrate, let's say to Germany or Italy. You have to adhere to their rules. So why can't it be the same for the UK? If people are coming from other countries to our country, why can't
Australia itself now is very harsh on that sort of stuff. If you come into the country, you swear an oath and an allegiance to not only the country but the language, the flag, the culture, at the risk of deportation within the first 2 years if you sway your views politically, religiously, in any way.
Yeah.
David's in the chat said, what annoys me most is how people think that the land that they are born in is theirs and theirs only. I don't understand why people are against refugees coming in. Well, to me, I ain't got a problem with people coming in to come and better their life and working for a living. What I have got a problem is with people coming in, like refugees coming in and sponging off our government with the benefits, getting a free house, free this, free that, and not paying anything into the system. Now, if I was in the government, I would say, right, before you can get free housing benefit, free council tax, a free house, anything like that, you've got to pay into the system 5 years before you can get all that.
I totally agree with this system, what they're on about bringing in, that people that come to this country have got to work in this country for 5 years before they can get any sort of benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would stop a lot of immigration coming in because they're all coming in because they think, yeah, it's free handout. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And they've not put nothing into the system to get that.
You've got such as Mr. P. He's worked all his life. He's paid his national insurance. He's paid the tax into the country. But you know, if he were to get out of a job, he has to bend over backwards to get any sort of benefits whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's worked all his life and paid into the system all his life. Yeah, you have to bend over backwards to get any sort of benefits.
Yeah.
Well, and he was born he weren't born in this country, but he is British.
I am British, so I've got a British passport. It says I'm a British citizen, and I have paid into the system. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But what we're trying to say, David, is like such as yourself, paying into the system, paying your taxes, paying your national insurance, and then somebody's coming from another country and getting them benefits, what we've paid into the system for, yet went boots on other foot, and
we can't get no.
You can't get anything.
Yeah.
You have to prove this. You have to prove that.
I think we've just become too soft.
Basically, saying that, I could say, right, I was born in Kenya. I'm going to take Kenya. Can I have an house, please? And they give me one like that. Yeah, they would they?
No.
I think they would.
You know, I mean, the same as everybody says, there's two sides to every argument. But what we're saying is, if you want to come and live in this country, you've got to pay towards the system. You've got to work. You've got to pay your national insurance. You've got to pay your taxes.
Yeah. Moving on, I guess.
I think we better change the subject because it's getting a bit heated, isn't it?
Baby.
Well done.
Steve A says Jambo, Chris.
Jambo, my man. That's all you want to know. If you didn't know what Jambo was, that means hello in Kenyan.
Oh.
And my cat, my very first cat, she was called Jambo. Bless her cotton socks. I'd love to go back there one day, but it's like, were it you that said, Martin, or was it Vince that said that it wasn't, it's not a very nice place at the moment in Zambia and whatnot.
That'd be Vince. I don't, yeah.
All right, that was Vince, was it? Yeah, it wasn't a very nice, not a very nice country to go to at the moment with all the civil wars and everything that's going over there. But we'll go away from that subject now.
Yeah. And
David, sorry for bringing that up, lol.
Yeah, but it's something that's relevant, isn't it? Really?
Oh yeah, of course it is. All right, what we're going to talk about now? Oh crap!
Talking about that, Foster's.
What that? Yeah, that Foster's. I normally only have about 2. I'm on my 4th.
Yeah, Vince should be relate to that because it's an Australian beer.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah.
It's not. It's English. It's English. This is. Yeah,
I had to go and make myself a coffee.
Well, I bet it's about 8 o'clock in the morning there now, isn't it?
Yeah, 7:35.
7:35.
I'm drinking lemonade.
Steve says Kenya is a bit iffy now, but I love it and I wouldn't go there at the moment. There was one place in Kenya, but I've seen it on the holiday programme. I forget whereabouts. It might be actually Nairobi. And there were a big watering hole. And there's like a wooden hotel. The hotel was made out of wood. And they had like a long balcony. And you could actually watch all the animals come down drinking, like all the elephants and whatnot, drinking in this waterhole. It looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds
It sounds like Friday night at the pub.
Yeah. Especially after the football's been going on. Oh, crikey.
They say that not North Africa, but they say that Africa in general is the next manufacturing hub of the world.
Oh.
Because everywhere else is running out of space.
Yeah. Oh,
What about this
what?
thing in is it China where they were only allowed one baby? They've allowed them to have two now.
Yeah.
Oh, got up to be a bugger if you've got triplets then.
But I don't get it because, you know, if you're only allowed one child and then you have like the scan and a test and it says you've got twins or triplets, what happens then?
Well, that's
Exactly.
exactly what Mr. Peace just said. You're stuffed, really.
Yeah, but you know, like, what is there like a prosecution to that, or do they just allow you?
Well, I suppose you'd have to abort one of them, wouldn't you?
Oh,
I don't know.
but even if you do,
I don't know if any of you guys subscribe to him. I'm just going to put a name in the chat. And what to look for. He's a YouTube user by the name of I spelled it wrong. No, that's not his name. He's an expat from your country, now living in China, and has been doing for 10 years. And he gives you, as a British citizen, he gives you a real insight into what it's like living in China.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
I like channels like that.
It is a really good channel. For example, he's married a Chinese resident, and prior to marrying his wife, he was on a work visa of 2 years at a time. And he no matter how long he was in China for, every 2 years, he had to go for a visa. So now he's on a wedding visa because he's married. But because he's on a wedding visa, the laws state that he can never work in China.
What?
Never work in China? Because
No, he can never work in China.
So how do they support themselves? Or
well, when prior to getting married, he'd pulled all his money together, and he bought a house in I think he calls it a third tier city, because they rate their cities on tiers there, number one being the best, obviously. And he bought the house. He bought the dwelling. And once he got married, she's working. And he basically rides his motorbike around China, taking videos and doing YouTube, for the fact that he's banned from working in China because he's married to a Chinese citizen.
right.
Well, that's just crazy.
Yep, it's a very interesting. And he just released a video during the week about how he had to produce his passport to get on the beach because he's not a resident. You will never be Chinese, no matter how long you live or marry or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you're in China
people
for 5 years, be living in China for 5 years, you can't claim Chinese citizenship.
No, you will never be Chinese.
Oh, that's crazy, that is. David said, think about the one-child policy in China. Babies are murdered and eat on the streets. Oh, wow.
But I guess, you know, different cultures, different rules, different...
Exactly. It'd probably just be the norm then. No, you got two children, right? That one can go. See ya.
China's a very different culture. Like it's still projected by the media as a place where things are happening, cheap holidays, surgery, all that sort of crap. But they're one of the first countries to actually accept internet addiction as a disease, and they accepted that years ago. And what came out of that is parents were having this one child. So it was cheaper in China to put your child in an internet cafe for the day while you're both at work than it was to put him in a like a kindergarten or something like that.
That's right.
And what came out of that is the youth got addicted to the internet, so they introduced these electroshock therapy places where if you were deemed addicted to the internet, they would electrocute it out of you somehow. I don't know how, because I don't know if that works or not, but those places only just got shut down according to this guy's website, because he does a full review on what happened. They were only shut down 2 years ago.
Well, this is
God.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm back in a minute.
Back in the really, really olden days, homosexuality wasn't recognised either, and they used to use electric shock, get that out of your system.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, to me, that's barbaric. I mean, if you're gay, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it's not like the whole population's gay, and enough studies have been done on that subject look, as a kid, that was very demonized, and, you know, like, I would probably have been one of those racist kids throwing rocks and all that sort of shit, whatever. But, you know, as time goes on, you become acceptable, and the studies, you know, say that it is, you know, not in their mind, it's a genetic thing or whatever. That's all great, but what happens, because these people fought for their rights, now you have other sicker peoples, and when I say sicker, working and trying to justify their existence so we accept them, but that can never be, because these people really are sick. But I don't think electrocution would shock any homosexuality out of anyone, to be honest.
No. It's just a barbaric way that they used to treat them.
Yeah.
I mean, so you say, what good is electrocuting somebody just for being gay?
Yeah, that's right. That's like, I mean, what do you guys know about Julian Assange?
Who?
He's a politician.
No, he runs WikiLeaks.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know anything about politics.
Isn't he old up in one of the embassies?
Yeah, that's one. Now, in regards to that subject of electrocuting the crap out of homosexuals, I'm pretty sure that would leave them scarred. It's like that guy Julian Assange, where he was in a sect down here in Australia because he's an Australian citizen, and they were given LSD, drugs and all that. So electrocution's scarring for life. So imagine this guy who's running WikiLeaks, how scarred he is for life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, going back to the electrocution thing and everything, it's like a lot of people want paedophiles and everything to be castrated.
Yeah.
Which I agree with.
So.
Basically, so they don't get the urge to do what they do.
Hang on.
Either that, or give them half an hour with parents in a room and they'll knock living daylights out.
Okay. Yeah. Before you go on any further with the conversation, I must recorrect your English, because now, apparently so, according to the internet, they're not pedophiles anymore. They're trying to justify their existence as pedosexuals.
Oh my God.
Pedophiles, end of. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I know, it's wrong.
They still do the same thing, it's just a different name.
They'll always be known as pedophiles to me.
We got good laws against them down here in Australia. If you've got any kind of conviction as a pedophile or sex crimes against kids or anything, you'll never come into this country, and it works the other way around as well.
I think that ought to be the law in the UK, because how can anybody justify having sex with a child?
No.
Did you say it works the other way around? Like, if, for example, if you wanted to leave, you're not allowed to leave.
You're not allowed to leave ever. The term of your natural life.
If Steve says whatever they call, they should be shot. Correct.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Get it in. Shot, hanged, electrocution in the chair. Bring it all back. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Bring hanging
it's
back.
not a bad idea.
You know.
As you know what, and sort of a lot of the youth out today, if they brought, I don't know whether they still do it in Australia, but the 2 years national service.
No, we haven't had.
Do they still do it
We
over
haven't.
there?
No, we haven't had national service since the 1960s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had it for ages, but they should bring that back. It would sort a lot of the youth out today.
Yeah.
Our government here has some really strange ideas. Like, I think it's on a federal level. They've just come out of meetings about 2-3 weeks ago with the Muslim leaders of the Muslim community leaders of Australia, and now it looks like our government is going to fund these centres where the Muslim youth can go and what would you say, release their rage in a place rather than release it on society.
David said back in 1940, in the Holocaust, it was just Jews killed. It was gays and handicapped. Scary to think.
Yeah.
We just dodged that generation. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. We've dodged a lot of things, to be honest.
I'm going to say when you think back, really, this like race thing has been going on for decades and decades.
Yeah.
It has. And it will continue to do so, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's proof that it lasted this long. You know, doesn't mean it's going to stop now.
Exactly.
No,
I say, I'm not racist, but I hate it when, like we said before, they come in, they don't work, and they just sponge off the benefits. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's same for the English guys, and I'm sure it's same for Australian guys as well. Us English, there's some lazy gets that's English that just sponge off the benefits and never done a day's work in their life.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. Not just people coming in, but English that actually live here as well.
Yeah.
And
our government is so generous to these people who come in compared to what they are to their own nationals, their own citizens. And it gets to a point where I was watching on 60 Minutes here where these mothers, Sudanese mothers, were on 60 Minutes crying, saying they'd wished they'd never come to Australia for the simple reason that the government, if you ring up, and these kids are smart, if you ring up and say I'm being abused at home, the government takes the kid out of the home, puts it in, gives it, so you have a residence, a roof over your head, you get your own money to live on, benefit cards, and this is kids. So, you know, it's crazy.
Going back to that subject, you've got, same as Pixie says, a lot of English getting benefits and everything, but you've got like single mums that have got about 12 kids, and then in one way or another the government says to them, oh, you've got to go out and try and find work. Their answer is, well, why should I work? Because I'm getting that much in benefits.
Now, I don't know if it's same in Australia, but in Britain, excuse me, 9 out of 10 times, sometimes you're better off not working than you're working unless you've got a high-paid job.
Yeah.
Because like you get most of your rent paid for, you get most of your council tax paid for. Only thing you've got to pay is like your gas, your water, and obviously your food.
I mean, put it this way. I mean, a lot of these programs that you see on our tellies about, you know, how to get this off of the government, how to get that off of government. Mr. P goes out and works 45 and a half hours a week. We haven't got alt mod cons, we ain't got a dishwasher. They've got big, like 60-inch tellies and Xbox and this, that, and other. And, you know, it just breaks your heart that you're going out and sweating for 45 and a half hours a week And they're better off than what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad.
Our government here to its own citizens is very harsh. You know, the prices we pay for it, and it's all our own fault at the end of the day. You know, people fought for better wages and better so much conditions. They gave away more conditions that were earned in the previous 20 years prior to them fighting it, and we're paying the price now of always asking for more money by being one of the highest tax nations in the world. For example, a packet of cigarettes here, Rothman Silver 40s, I think they are, is 37 Australian dollars.
Wow.
So its own citizens, it taxes highly, and these refugees that come into our country are looked after very well. Yes.
Sounds very similar. But like I say, I'm not. I keep on saying it. I'm not racist. I just don't like it when they're coming in and not earning to get what they get.
Yeah.
I mean, everything we got in here is what we've worked for. I mean, Jeanette can't work anymore, but if she could work, she would do. She's worked in past. But because what she's got wrong with it, like 3 discs on in the back, arthritis, and all this stuff, she can't physically work. But if you were, it's like a catch-22 situation. It's like, such as I don't think Marty works, do you, mate?
Not at the moment, no.
No, it's like such as Martin's in a bit of an hard spot because he probably wants to work and he's probably
nothing.
Applied for a load of jobs, but it's like you can't. You go for these interviews and there'll be about 300 people for that one position that you've gone for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might have all the experience in the world, but there'll probably be that one person that's got more experience than you.
Yeah, I had one interview, and this is not a lie, is that basically there was a new restaurant, Wagamama restaurant. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
And basically it was opened up in Blue Water, and we went for interviews, and we was all getting measured up for like the sizes of like the uniform, and one of them said, "What size checkered trousers are you?" So you write that down, and one person asked, "What are checkered trousers?" And he got employed, and a lot of people didn't.
David,
oh my God! Just because he said what are checkered trousers?
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm putting in. David's put in the chat. What sort of job you looking for, Martin?
Anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny situation I ran into down here. I'm in the building industry to a certain extent, contract to public works and do a lot of domestic work. And I was contracted into Monash University, which is just up the road from here, about 3 to 4 kilometres. And there's all these young blokes there, and I could tell they weren't from Australia because they were white, basically white, as was already our hot season, so we'd all had tans and stuff like that, so that's a dead giveaway. All these young blokes were from England and Scotland, and what they were doing is actually travelling around Australia, and I thought it was great. You know, they would travel around Australia, they'd go register at a job agency, and as they travel, they earn their way around Australia. And we had one what was he? He was a surveyor, and he was from England himself, and he was 30, just turned 30 years old, I think, and he'd been working in Australia 2 years, and his visa was about to run out. So we're just talking, and he was about to go home, and I think he had 2 weeks left, and he was in the process of shutting down, like doing his taxes and all that sort of stuff. And I said to him, "How'd you go?" And he's had a good paying job, obviously, but he said, "Yeah, no," he goes, "Look, the first year I blew all the money, got pissed every night, and girls, and all that sort of good stuff as a young bloke. And the second year he saved up enough money to buy a house back where he lived, and buy some surveying equipment to start his own business up back home."
Right, I'm just jumping in there. David
I was just about to read it off, sorry.
says to you, Martin, are you good with technology? And I put, yes, he is. And David says there are multiple jobs at Apple in retail or from home.
What is Apple? No, I'm joking.
Well, Ian Matthews put the biggest problem is all these immigrants do work. Big issue, car wash, etc. But are classed as self-employed, so are immediately can come work credits and benefits. Yeah, but there is a lot of those, but there's a lot of those on the other side, and I've seen it for myself, who don't work as well.
So there you go, Martin. We're trying to get you a job at Apple.
Oh, you get a free iMac. Woohoo! I've got
come to us.
Job
come to Australia for a year. You'll get a job here.
If you were wondering, Vince, David Armitage works for Apple.
Okay.
Yeah, and what it was, how me and David got to meet, or on the internet, we haven't actually met up yet. His brother Will watches my vlogs and live stream, because I used to just do it on a Friday for the live streams, and he recommended me to David, like I said, it's his brother, to have my channel promoted in an exhibition in a shopping complex in Sheffield, which is called Meadow Hall. It was once one of Europe's largest shopping centres. I don't know if it still is or not, but it was at one point. And basically, they had my channel in a big, projector screen, and somebody was chatting away and saying, because he sent me an email, David, with a lot of questions, and I answered him in detail as much as I could. And they had a speaker there for me because I couldn't go because it was during the day because I was working. And basically, they basically promoted my channel in front of about 70 people, and apparently everybody enjoyed it. So that's how me and David got to know each other.
Okay. Yeah.
So when are you going to do the next one?
Yeah. Where's the next one, David?
Well, he did say earlier on they're coming back to Meadow Hall in September.
Yes, and I've got to go down in September with my camera in Meadow Hall to vlog it and say thank you very much.
And David's just come back from Leeds.
Yes.
Gary Marks is now in America.
Yes, this is all part of the Apple network. There's Gary Monks,
Mark,
David Armitage, and
Katie
Hepkins. Yes, I don't know if you've heard of her, Vince, but there's a woman or a celebrity called Katie Hopkins, and I keep on saying Katie Hopkins and getting it mixed up.
No, I don't like her.
No, she's a gobby so-and-so, ain't she?
Yeah.
It's put a link up, Martin. It says apple.com/today@Apple.
David, you know, because you're a moderator, you can actually put the full web address in there.
We'll
put the www.
Martin one way or the other.
The page you're looking for can't be found.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I'm sure if David's a really nice guy, which I'm sure he is, that he would go on your about page, Martin, look on your email and email you the link itself.
Vince is actually from Melbourne in Australia. Ian Matthews has asked.
Dean sounds local to me, Lee. Where about? Oh yeah, that's what you just said. Dog. You tell about 4 beers.
I've never. I must say,
all right, Dave,
in regards to the Apple products, I don't know what it is. I've always been brought up PC, but
yeah, so have I. Yeah.
It's all right, we can talk
I've
now.
always
Well, I were giving him hints earlier on because they were saying that they were back in Meadowhall in September, and I said, "Oh, my birthday's in September." Hint, hint.
I said, should be walking in Apple Store with your arms out and do that like that. Give me.
I've really got the urge. I've really got the urge to save my money and get an iMac.
I've heard these iMacs are quite good, but very expensive.
Go to work for Apple, you get a free iMac.
Yeah.
As I was saying before, about to say, the work I do, I've actually got an Apple iPad, but I can only use it for work because I don't use it at home. Because apparently, if your Wi-Fi drops while you're using this Apple iPad, it jumps onto their signal, which might be a bit stronger. And somebody scared me a bit because they said a few years ago one of their guys let their kids play on his Apple iPad and he thought it was on a Wi-Fi. But it turns out because his Wi-Fi was so weak, it jumped onto the BT signal that is on BT, is obviously British Telecom, and it dropped which is what we're with the Apple iPad, and his signal dropped that much. It was pretty weak that it for his Wi-Fi. It jumped onto the Apple iPad's signal, and basically you ran a £16,000 bill.
Whew.
Yeah, you can actually. There was. I jumped onto the Apple forums a couple of probably about 2 months ago, and there was a lot of talk about that stuff going on down here. Why charges were getting high and out of hand, and there's actually a mode in the iPad that you can turn off so that once you drop your Wi-Fi signal, it doesn't jump anywhere until you get back to your Wi-Fi signal. So you can actually turn that function on and off.
Can you?
Martin David's put that link up.
I think I'm going to have a look at that now.
Dibs.
Have they got any jobs going at Meadowhall yet, mate?
Jobs at Apple.
Click on it, mate. Click on it.
I'll give that a look once I've finished.
Like a weirdo. Hello.
So what's your skill set, Jeffies?
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
That's the best excuse going, isn't it?
I'm going to say that's Sky's catchphrase.
Yeah.
Have you turned it on and off? Have you took the wire out the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it 10 seconds.
Or have you pressed the reset button?
No.
So
with Apple
support.
With Apple, I wouldn't know what to do because I've never. Well, I've used it once, and this is like when I was at school. So I don't know how much has changed, but
is that Ian Matthews? It says yes, but where are you from, Gene? Is that directed at me?
Jeanette, you mean? I'm assuming so. Because we've got Vinny.
I'm not from Australia.
No, she's from a little town called Huthwaite in Nottinghamshire, which is about a 10-minute car ride away from Mansfield.
Yeah, I'm not Australian.
Why we never saw you? Because I don't know his on Geordie's stream. I don't know his new link, mate.
He says I can tell that.
And plus, I'm always quite busy.
I'm from Nottinghamshire.
It's funny to hear the name of the towns that you guys are from, because every time if I close my eyes and hear the name of that town, I'm thinking of like Robin Hood and things like that.
Yeah,
Robin Hood, yeah. Well, what it was a couple of years ago, Sheffield was trying to claim that Robin Hood was originally from Sheffield. But this was a few years ago.
Laurie was from Nottinghamshire.
Was that the geezer in tights?
Yes, and little green hair.
Men in tights.
Yeah, that is a great film. Oh,
funny as hell, isn't it?
You know, I was just looking at British media the other day, and like some of the shows you guys used to put out were just so funny.
Sorry, see you later, like weirdo. Sorry, mate.
yeah.
But political correctness is just, you know, you wouldn't be able to play those shows these days. It's like love thy neighbor. You know, that was fantastic. You know,
God, yeah.
David says, have you ever been to the UK, Vince?
No, the closest I ever got to the UK was probably when we lived in Belgium. My father caught the ferry over and spent a weekend in Piccadilly Circus buying souvenirs for us to have when he got home. That's probably the closest I've gotten to England.
Well, I'm going to give you the wife will probably kill me now. I'm going to give you an opportunity to spend a week in the UK in this very spare room that I'm sitting in now to come over. All you've got to pay for is your flight.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And Ian Matthews says further away than what I thought. I'm in Wigan.
Wigan's near London, I think, or down that way. Or I might be totally wrong. My geography's crap. Somebody called Joey G. That's one dude says hello, mate.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do know Worksop. David, we're just up road from where I lived. About 10 minutes.
So I think it's about 45 minutes from Sheffield, where we are. So yeah, if you ever want to come, Vinny, just give us a shout.
Look, one of the reasons I keep looking at England and Scotland, to be 100% honest with you, is architecture and the historical, the historical parts of that country. I've seen a couple of videos made of like the castles you've got there. All I think of is just the battles, the epic battles, these guys with swords and stuff like that had that, like, you know, you guys have got history here. We've only got rocks. You know, we're only 200 years old, and that's what we all crave for. We all crave to see a castle or something historical.
There's a lot of castles in this country.
Wigan is up here in Manchester. Oh, I totally got it the wrong way around there. My bad. I heard a village called Woodseats. I think it means Woodseats. That is literally 10 minutes away from us in car.
Yeah, in England we've got dungeons, we've got minsters, and a lot like famous church. Actually, we just live down the road from Chesterfield, and it's got a crooked, twisted spire, and it's been like it for years.
If you look at one of my vlogs a couple of weeks back, or a couple of vlogs back, I should say, I did try and get a decent picture while I was driving the car, but Mrs. P was filming, and I did try and get the picture of the crooked spire, and it's like it's literally as crooked. It's like all twisted and that. How it's got like that, I don't know.
I don't think anybody exactly knows why it went like that.
Someone was building it whilst they were drunk.
But
that's me then.
Look at it, Martin. It's like, you know, like it is actually a church, but as you look at it, the top turret, the pointy thing on top, it's like goes in a twirl.
Yeah. See, but I was just looking at the chat, and Ian Matthews has just made a statement which is true. His statement was, "Come on, you got Aborigine art, goes back thousands of years." That's true. We have the oldest rock paintings in the world, 40,000 years or something like that, from what I understand. But we're accustomed to all that, and we don't have. Historically, we just don't have what Europe has here. We really don't.
Well,
but you have your own history, though, don't you? Your own.
What I'm saying is, each country's got its own history, hasn't it, really?
Exactly.
It might be different. You've got the Eiffel Tower.
Thing, haven't you?
You've got Eiffel Tower
Yeah.
in France, even though we've got something similar like Blackpool Tower, but hey-ho.
Blackpool Tower's like...
But what I'm saying is, like, in France, you've got the Eiffel Tower, you've got the Arc de Triomphe. You know what I mean? The all historic things.
And David's
Yeah.
put, what I love about
look.
Sheffield is how the old buildings clash with the new ones. And some of the new buildings in Sheffield looks an absolute bloody mess. We've got
Yeah.
like I call it egg box building. I don't know what's in it. I can't remember whereabouts it is. But it's literally shaped like a huge egg box. And it looks a right bloody mess.
Ian Matthews says he's going to Blackpool tomorrow for the day.
Hey, nice one. Bring us a stick of rock back, mate.
Yeah.
I take it you don't like rock then, Martin.
No. That was like a little laugh kind of thing. I was like, hey.
Oh, I thought you went.
I haven't had a stick of rock in quite a few years actually. It destroys your teeth every single time I eat one.
Well, I'll tell you what then, Martin. When we go down to Bideford Bay, if I remember, you'll have to remind me.
We'll bring him.
I'll buy a bunch of stick of rock and I'll send one in post to you. I'll have to get your address off you.
We'll have to post him some clotted cream off.
Or some lemon drizzle cake. Send that in post.
I was just about to say that some lemon drizzle would be nice.
Or a pasty.
Cornish pasty.
Cornish pasty is one of my faves.
Classic.
Has there ever been a live stream go this late? No, that's the only problem because it's this late. Oh shit, is that the time?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I started at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock because Mrs. P was on before.
Yeah.
Plus, I've got some beer left as well.
Yeah.
Got to finish his beer.
That's what I'm taking.
He only gets one chance to have a drink, Martin, and that's on a Saturday night. So he has a blowout on a Saturday night.
And plus, it helps that I've had about 2 hours kipping afternoon because I weren't feeling very well when I got back.
Plus, we'll go to gym again tomorrow.
In the afternoon.
So he'll work it off tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll work it off tomorrow.
Sweat all that alcohol up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
paracetamol.
If I can give you a heads up on what your Sunday is going to be like if it comes over to you. It's a little bit overcast. Yeah, it looks like we might get some rain today, but for you guys, it must be pretty dark out there. The contrast in time just funny.
Well, having said that, I mean, I don't know whether you've seen on the news in Cornwall, which is close to where we're going on holiday, has just had flash floods.
They have, yeah. We've had a shed load of rain. A shed load.
Well, you better take your kayak or canoe.
Or his wellies.
Yeah.
David must have missed this trick, this question, because he said, "Have you always lived in Sheffield, Chris?" The answer to that is no, because I wasn't born in Sheffield. I was actually born in Kenya, Nairobi to be exact. Nairobi General Hospital. With me and Mrs. P's lived down Great Yarmouth for 6 years, I think it was, wasn't it, love?
Yeah.
I like Great Yarmouth.
Great Yarmouth's awesome.
Yeah.
We lived down there for 6 years, and then I've lived in Mansfield with Mrs. P a couple of times, and then we come to Sheffield. 3 years. Well, we lived twice, didn't we? First when we got together, then we went down Yarmouth, then we came back and moved in Mansfield, and then we
been back to Sheffield about 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've actually lived in Sheffield.
And she loves every single minute of it, don't you?
Yeah.
Does Britain have a rule, or does England have a rule where the Prime Minister must be a British citizen?
I don't know, but I think every single Prime Minister has been English, haven't they?
Because I'm just thinking your situation, being
It's
born in.
basically there's three main political parties, which is Labour, Conservatives, and the Liberal Democrats.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Pixies. I'm just thinking a Pixies situation would be reversed to the one of Obama facing when he was claiming to be an American and people were claiming he wasn't an American. Pixie would have the same problem, I think, if he ran for Prime Minister. Then you'd have to.
It's like this whenever something similar, but not. It's like if Jeanette needed to get a new birth certificate. All she had to do is go to the place where she was born and say, "Look, I need a birth certificate," which were in Mansfield. All she had to do is go to the registry office or wherever it was and say, "Mum, there's your birth certificate. Thank you very much."
Yeah, well,
I've got a copy of my birth certificate, and I've got to if I lose that, I've got to go over, or not go over, but I've got to contact Kenya Nairobi Hospital and say, "I need a new birth certificate." It'll probably cost me about £150, £200.
All the consulate in Kenya.
The consulate in Kenya to get this birth certificate.
David says he's got a question for Vince. What was childhood like in Australia?
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. It's what would you say? We're a happy-go-lucky country. Basically, I'll give you school every day. Finish at 3. Go play with your friends and all that sort of stuff. But my weekends, once I turned about, I think 13, 14 years old, I would jump on my bike in the morning and we'd ride the hell out of the country. You know, we would ride everywhere. And Mum and Dad really didn't care as long as I made it home by tea time. So, it was a pretty good upbringing, really, I suppose. There was no fear of, I mean, we have our crazies and psychos and stuff like that here as well, but no one locked their doors type. Yeah, no one locked their doors type thing. It was generally pretty good. We played with different things as kids, venomous spiders, snakes and stuff like that, I guess, but not everyone did that. But if you lived close to a bush environment, you got to see that. But
bless you, Mark.
Overall, it was pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Thanks for popping in, Ian. And, enjoy yourself tomorrow in Blackpool, I think it was. Yeah, going back to locking doors, I mean, back in the day, I'm going about 20, 30 years ago, in Britain, where you could leave your doors unlocked, you could leave them wide open and nobody would bat an eyelid. If you did that today, you'd have your telly, Nick, you'd have your computers, Nick, we're in a space for about 5 minutes. I'll give you an example. At work last week, we all bring us vans home at work because there's nowhere to store them at depot because it's not big enough. He took his van home, this lad. He got up next morning and somebody had broken into his van. And luckily, he got CCTV in one of the shops or something next door and he caught it all on video. And basically, this wagon came up, this lorry, flatbed, I think it were, and it took them less than 36 seconds to break into his van, but luckily all he had in were 2 large petrol cans full of petrol because the landscapers and the petrol for the lawnmowers. And that's what it took. It took them 36 seconds to get into the van, nick the petrol can, stick it into his wagon, and off he went. But luckily, he's got his number plate, so he'll be getting caught. So it just shows you how quick and how fast they can get into people's vehicles.
I mean, it's coming to the stage now in the UK. I don't know whether it's in Australia, but if it ain't nailed down, they'll pinch it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
David said you have to be very careful in this day and age. You very do.
Yeah.
You very do. You do.
I mean, all countries has got the drugs problems, but a lot of it in this country is drugs related. they need to get money for the next fix.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Look, I mean, here the youth is to methamphetamines, for example, and I'll give you an example of what happened to us. We were out on a job site, and it's usually the newest bloke that goes to get smoko, which is our breakfast, lunch, whatever you want to call it, brunch, so basically food, yeah. So the guy who was in the excavator said, righto, who's going to get smoko? They can go and get it now. And when you get back, we'll stop working and have something to eat. So everyone gave this guy $10 each. And about 2 hours later, I sat there and I yelled out, I don't think smoko's coming back. And the guy was happy just to get $50 for the day, not bring anyone's lunch back, just for the purpose of buying some amount of drugs, whatever.
Yeah, but it's sad when it comes to that point where you don't know who to trust.
Yeah, exactly. With the person I work with, I'll trust him without, you know what I mean? It can be a pain in the arse, and I can be a pain in the arse to him as well, but we trust each other. We could say, like, I'll give 20 quid in, or $20, and you can give me $20 and he'll give me back, you know what I mean? But then you go on to the other side when you know somebody, but you know you can't trust them to do that, because if you give $20, you might know that you'll never see that $20 again.
Yeah, that's right. And it's only, and it's not really the fact that it's $20. It's the fact of the trust.
It's the trust that's not there. That's what it is. And it's like, I know it's not this is just an example. I smoke, as you probably know, if you've seen me smoking. Wife smokes.
Yep.
I used to work with a lad at work, not where I'm working now. We're in a warehouse, and they were always skinned. God knows what he spent his money on. And he used to say, "Let us a fag, Chris. Let us a fag, Chris." I said, "All right then, here's a fag." And then one day I was sure he got some fags on him. I said, "Let us a fag or cigarette." We call them fags over here. I don't know what you call them over there. But he says, "Let's a fag, Chris." All right. Then it was my turn. I says, "Let's a fag, mate. I ain't got none. I've run out." He says, "No, I can't. I ain't got any." Well, I've just seen you get a 20. You've got 20 fags in your hand. Telling me you're not going to give me one after all these. And he says, "Oh, they've got a last minute day. They've got a last minute day." He says, "Well, what do you think I'll be doing you all this week?" Because, you know, next time you come to me asking for a fag, I'm going to tell you where to go. And the following day, he smoked all his fags, and the cheeky beggar had nerve to come up and ask me if it could have a fag. I said, "You've got no chance, mate. Yeah. You do what I did and go out." Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's fair. And I mean, like, we have that problem here too. One of my wife's girlfriends, she likes to smoke, but she doesn't like to buy them. And I cracked the shits in the end. I didn't care anymore. I just said, "Look, these are $1 each. There's 40 of them in a packet. You come here, you smoke 10. It's not for the fact for the $10, but why put yourself in this position where you just buy your own packet, smoke your own smokes, and no one's going to say anything." You know, exactly. And then, you know,
I won't let anybody go without a fag, as long as I know that if I run out, then they can give me one back. You know what I mean? But if they just take,
yeah,
and they don't give out back, it's just the same as money. You know what I mean?
It's enough sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah.
What's the saying? Like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, or something like that, isn't it?
Well,
exactly.
That's sort of.
It's like me.
That's sort of like the other scenario, where you might have a workmate that doesn't have a ride to work, so you give them a ride all the time, and they don't. You know, you don't expect nothing for it. You just give them a ride in the hope that maybe one day when you need a ride to work, you'll get one. But the minute you go to get a ride with someone else, you'll have to give me money for petrol. That's the same deal.
Yeah, but what?
That's right, because I don't drive. I've just got a provisional at the moment. So even if someone says, "Oh, do you want a lift?" I'd be like, "Yeah, thank you very much." And when we get to the destination, I'd be like, "Do you want any petrol money for that?"
Yeah, exactly. You know, doing it in kindness. I mean, I went to the football with Nigel Brook, who was in the stream earlier last night, and it's his works vehicle, but he can use it for personal use, and the company pays for the petrol. And I said to him, "Do you want any petrol money for it?" And he says, "No, just get me a drink or something." So I bought him a drink in that way.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to offer it, even though
to return it.
You know, they'll say, "No, you're all right." You know what I mean?
Same as I was just going to say. Me and Chris are the same. If we ain't got a lot of money, but if we know somebody's in need, or
you do your best.
Yeah, and if somebody if your next door neighbour comes round, I've run out of sugar. Can I have a cup of sugar? Yeah, but if I want, if ever there's any time I want something, you have to say, well, do you return the favour?
Yeah,
in the same situation.
Yeah, even if it's
David,
even if it's not
David
sugar.
Armitage has just asked. Sorry, David Armitage in the chat's just asked if we have soccer here in Australia. Look, 30 years ago, I would have said, yeah, we do. It's just very, very unheard of. But soccer's gained a big momentum here in Australia now.
Your Australian version of football is brutal.
Yeah,
like
it is.
I don't know if you've seen it, like Australian football, where it's pretty much like rugby, to be honest.
With nothing, with no padding, nothing.
I've seen some like injuries from that, and it makes like football, but
I mean,
bad.
It's a different kind of.
It probably looks like ballet dancing compared to that.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of to play with broken arms and fractured legs and broken ribs. They do play on those injuries here.
Yeah,
They will finish the game out.
I remember this is a couple of years ago where I was watching Australian football, and during like half time they have interviews with like a certain player, and this player in one match he got tackled so hard it broke his back, but didn't realise. He just it's just a bit of pain, been tackled, and like 1 week later, he went for an X-ray and it saw that his back was broken. Yeah, and he actually had another match during that week which he played, and I'm like, he played two matches.
I know a guy.
Back.
I personally know a guy who broke his arm in a preliminary final here. Yeah. And they went on to win that game, which put them in the semi-final. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you've played all year, and the goal is to make that semi-final. So when they won the preliminary final, he was rushed to hospital, had a cast put around his arm. Because it was broken. 2 days later, he cut the cast off himself so he could play in the grand final the week later.
Wow. Yeah. That's mad. Is this the question to do you have soccer that David said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Soccer is big here now. But the problem is with soccer, it's very tightly what would you say, secured, because the fans now they will pack out a stadium. They have maybe Manchester might come over, Liverpool might come over for one match or something like that, and the attendance is huge. But then people start trying to do what that you guys do in Europe, and that's bring flares out and things like that.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it, but do you know when we have American football here at Wembley, people go crazy to try and get in, and like you said, flares. Some people, they bring like what are they called, sparklers?
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
David's after a free holiday. He's wanted to come to Australia sometime.
There's plenty of room here. We're the biggest island in the world, I think.
Do they have Apple stores out in Australia?
Sorry?
Do they have Apple stores?
Yeah.
Well, there you go, David. You'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we have we have everything the rest of the world has. We might be we're probably retarded in technology, like probably where Pixie comes from, Kenya would have better internet than us. And I kid you not when I say that. I kid you not.
Mate, you haven't had our internet, have you? We've had to go on the highest one, was fibre optic, which is
I'm just laughing at what David said. He says, you have coral reefs and we have Cleethorpes.
Hey, don't let Keith say that, Eagle VP. He'll be on your case, mate.
Yeah. No, we we're ranked 51 in the world for internet service.
Oh, well, you're that good.
So I'm not kidding.
51. Oh, yeah. Sorry, 51st.
Yeah,
51st.
Yeah. I've never heard it called 51th. So my mind just went, huh?
Yeah. No.
I was like, what?
It's like, the Australian language sometimes can be a bit different. I was on a live stream last night, I think it was, and there was these African American guys, and they'll talk, and I'm just having a bit of fun with them and all that. We're having a bit of a laugh. Yeah. And I said a comment, and the comment was, I got better things to do than sit here with me thumb up my ass. And one of them turned around and goes, you actually stick your thumb up your ass?
Well, we were having a discussion about this other day because where Mr. P works, there ain't enough hours in day. And somebody made the comment, well, if you shove a broom up your arse, you can sweep behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not very dissimilar.
Yeah. Going back to the football, we actually had one of our former players, one of my favourite teams, Sheffield United, and we had one of our former players go to Central Coast Mariners. I think he's just retired now. He was called Nick Montgomery. I don't know if you've heard of him or not.
No, can't say I have. No. To be honest, I really don't follow. What would you say? I don't follow football until it's the finals time. Yeah. I don't know. It's just me. I don't get into it, to be honest. I like it. I like watching it when I watch it, but I'd rather probably be sitting on a computer doing something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to go back to the numbers. Like I remember one of my friends, a friend had a baby boy, and a couple of years he was learning how to count and stuff. He got to 10, and he thought he'd be cheeky, and he thought he'd count to 15, maybe 16, and he goes 9, 10, 11, 12. 11 is not a number. 11 is, but teens don't until you get to 13. They went, no wonder why 12 didn't make sense. I never 11 teen. I like that. That made me giggle for a good day. That did.
What's the education in England in general like?
It's up and down because one year you hear the highest grades we got for our GCSEs, and then a couple of years later it'd be the lowest, and then it'd be the highest. So it's
I think as well, Martin, it fluctuates, doesn't it? Part of the country you live in as well.
Mm. But I would say
apparently what's happening here is we've got a lot of young people training to be teachers, and their goal is to go to England and get a job as a teacher there.
Please, we need a lot of teachers at the moment.
Please do.
A lot of teachers.
Yeah.
Good ones.
I had one of my best friend's daughter. She actually took a year out in Australia because she's got an auntie and an uncle that live out there. And she took a year out and went to Australia, and she did a placement in a nursery. And that was actually before she fully qualified to be a teacher. She is a teacher now.
Well, my
Yeah.
niece is actually a teacher as well. She's just completed her first full year in teaching.
Okay.
Is that just like
Yeah, so
language, or is it like a certain subject?
That I'm not entirely sure of. Sure of.
Well,
No,
you know when the learning to, well, you know, going to university and everything to become a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, like doctors, when this go into a specific field, let's say
Med school or something.
yeah, like art, you know, heart and or
Oh,
orthopedic,
yeah.
things like that. Now the teachers, it's like teaching different age groups. Like you get, when they go to university, they want to specify that they want to teach in preschool or nursery school.
Yeah.
Or then, you know, like some like to specifically go into teaching teenagers. Obviously, the range is like being a doctor, really, because obviously the teenagers have got more knowledge and everything. So it's a big diverse subject.
Yeah, it's like teachers who do secondary school. They teach to a certain age, but they have to know quite a lot because they don't just do the one subject, because it's usually the one teacher that teaches the class for the day, don't they?
Yeah.
David's just said I had an Italian French teacher that could speak English or French. Says dreadful. Not good.
Yeah, I didn't really like.
Some as I say, there's like teachers for different subjects, and then there's teachers for different age spectrums, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think you should have teachers for different subjects. If they specialise in science, that's what they should teach. You can't have a science teacher teaching maths.
Yeah.
So
our teachers.
This
our
all
teachers
derives
here
from when they go to university. You've got to make your mind up sort of which age group you want to teach, because they're learning that subject.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, you can't teach like a 5-year-old the same as what you're teaching a 13 or 14-year-old.
No, definitely not.
No, that's right.
Right then, guys.
Our teachers,
there. It's getting quite late in the UK, Vinny. It's now 20 to 12.
Yep. No, I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
I think I'll call it a night there. It's been a very interesting and entertaining stream tonight, I think. And I thank everyone for coming in. That is Jeanette, Martin, and Vinny, and everybody in the chat. And thanks for David for stopping this long as well. And everybody else that's joined in.
Thank you for having me.
Forget, I will be coming in on tomorrow night at about 8 o'clock-ish. It all depends what time Mrs. P finishes her stream. It'll either be 8 or 9. I will post a little video up, so if you've got the notifications coming on,
and you'll be able
to see it come through.
Be able to drool over Mr. P eating a piece of my
good night, guys.
Cake.
A vlog will be going up tomorrow as well. So on that note, I shall call it a night and say thank you very much, guys. It's been awesome tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice speaking to you all.
Yeah, you too, Martin. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
David
Bye.
says you, Vince.
Bye.